This is Dolynny TV, friends. Glad not to be a Vancouver Canucks fan tonight because if I were, I would be utterly embarrassed by how pathetic of a performance in a follow-up game against the Edmonton Oilers that team just put in. I mean, state it any way you want. Connor Garland, the square root of nothing for a performance tonight after what was, of course, quite a theatric performance there, rolling around with Connor McDavid and that whole thing. And, well, you'd expect something out of him tonight. And, like I said, the square root of nothing. And, of course, for the Edmonton Oilers, Cory Perry single-handedly embarrasses the Vancouver Canucks franchise on multiple levels. And, I mean, just come on now. You got to have a little bit of self-respect. And the way that game ended, the Vancouver Canucks melt like butter in the frying pan on high and go quietly into the night in a pathetic performance like they had tonight. You got to be kidding me. This season's been drama-filled for the Canucks, and they just embarrassed themselves on a whole new level tonight. Friends, if you're new to the channel and you don't like the Vancouver Canucks, like I don't, of course, that's how rivalries work in the NHL, and oh boy, it's brewing between the Oilers and the Canucks here over the past several months. Definitely consider hitting that subscribe button. You can tell I'm a full-time Oilers fan. I'm not making fun of the Canucks just because I'm taking random hit lists here. No, this is very much so. I expected some fireworks between the Oilers and Canucks tonight, and the Canucks, well, to their credit, just kind of backed down and allowed the Oilers to run show on them in a 6-2 final. And like I'm saying, I'm not even really at all impressed with the Oilers' performance tonight. It's almost one of those things, usually when you play a really good game and get beat by the other team, you have to give credit to your opponent. Again, tonight, I think it's the reverse of that. I have to give credit to how poor the Vancouver Canucks were tonight. And just the Oilers came in, you know what, we're going to win this hockey game, and most would have expected it to be 4-2, 4-1, somewhere in there. And instead, the Canucks just pretty much no-show throughout 60 minutes, and the Oilers, well, they're going to take advantage of that and completely embarrass you on any given night you want to have an off night. And the Canucks, I mean, the Canucks are still sitting here thinking Thatcher Demko is going to be the goalie he once was. I don't know what it's going to take, whether it's going to take trading Miller, Pettersson, or both of them for them to realize that Demko ain't doing you any services either. But, hey, that's just Vancouver Canucks for you. So we'll take it and we'll pile on another 6 on him and no worries about it. The Oilers continue to score goals. Leon Draisaitl continues to dominate the NHL. And the Vancouver Canucks continue to look as lost as they have throughout much of the season. I know they had a decent start, but pretty much after, the first 20 games, it's been a house of horrors in Vancouver. And even Louis DeBrusk, who has his son Jake DeBrusk on the Canucks, Louis DeBrusk, the color commentator for the Edmonton Oilers, as a Canucks fan, you might not have been able to watch the Oilers broadcast tonight because they split it. What I'll tell you is Louis was talking in the game during kind of some play about how maybe the drama that seems to exist in the locker room and the outside noise put around it has crept into the room and really created chaos. Well, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you about that, but it very much so appears to be the case. And if Louis hinting towards that or hunching a guess on it, I would expect that is very much so the case. So pretty funny tonight to see a game which was much anticipated. And normally, as an Oilers fan, when we much anticipate something and our team is going to have maybe a response to something they didn't like, normally it doesn't go our way. But the Vancouver Canucks, like I'm saying, to their credit, pretty much got out there on the ice and crapped their pants and didn't do much about it other than skate around with it floating around in the underwear the whole night. So, pretty embarrassing night to be a Canucks fan, to be honest with you, and that's kind of the beautiful part of this. Normally when I do these full to franchise videos, I'm talking about the Edmonton Oilers, but for the Vancouver Canucks, friends, I am embarrassed for you as a Canucks fan, simply because it's one of those situations here where, the Oilers have a chance to get into the playoffs, so too do the Flames and the Canucks, but performances like this for the Vancouver Canucks shows they do not have much, if anything, left to really give the rest of the season, especially if the drama just continues to create chaos between whatever it is in that locker room. And well, at the end of the day, it's just going to melt their season away pretty much to nowhere, and they're going to miss the playoffs pretty easily after leading the division last year. And I know it's typical. It's typical. And a Canadian NHL team leads the Pacific and then misses the playoffs the next year. Just ask Calgary Flames fans. They're all too used to that. But yeah, no, just a very, very messy, poor performance from the Canucks tonight. The Oilers take full advantage and beat the wheels off them. And I mean, hey, let's go, right? The Oilers now continue to win. They trail Vegas by 1 point for the division lead. And I know what I just said, but keep that in mind. I'll take a division lead here this year as the Oilers continue to look to make progress on this season. And for Cal Pickard, a good game. I mean, a couple of bad goals against that just were quick shots on that, again, you know, you'd love to have, but you're not going to get them all. So wash it off. It's all good. You still won 6-2, and away you go, right? That's all that matters there. And I think as well for Cory Perry, maybe we should spend some time talking about him. I don't want to traumatize Canucks fans any further tonight, but Cory Perry has exactly a Cory Perry legacy kind of game tonight, this time in an Oilers uniform, antagonizing the Canucks throughout the entire game. And there ain't nobody better in the NHL at that than Cory Perry, even if he is 39, almost 40 years old. The Vancouver Canucks fell into every single trap Cory Perry laid. Teddy Bluger looks like an absolute clown throwing haymakers at Perry while Perry's standing there looking at the ref. Man, look at this guy. And I cannot wait to hear the Canucks fans complaining about the refereeing tonight as well. That's going to be the cherry on top. See, I've waited until this point of the video because I can tell you my Oilers fans will tune in this long, but you Canucks fans would have already probably tuned out at this point, and you're all complaining about the refereeing and how it's, oh man, they're catering to the Oilers because they made that statement, and now you're crying about the refereeing after laughing at us about crying about the refereeing. Man, oh man, do I love rivalries, and it's been a long dang time since the Edmonton Oilers have had one as good as this. The Battle of Alberta, after everybody kind of left for Calgary, right? They just vacated town because it's such a terrible place to play in that dumpy old dome. Well, right, the Vancouver Canucks stepped up to fill their shoes, and it's been a good dang time. So I'm looking forward to it. But word to the wise, Vancouver, you might want to burn it down here a little bit and go restart from square one, because what you got ain't working, and it don't look like it's going to work the rest of the way home. So prove me wrong. Love to see you in the playoffs, but looks like Calgary is going to once again step in and take things from you. So have fun toiling in the bottom of the wild card chase. The Edmonton Oilers this evening, now 1 point back of the Vegas Golden Knights for first place, continuing to be in that top 5 conversation in the NHL. Friends, thanks for being aboard. I am up on out of here.